is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is the third Sunday of the month, which means it's time for Stretch the Sketch. So, in addition to our Sunday sketch, Moira and I and Amber and Karina have decided that since we all do this series anyway, we would just use this sketch. So it's kind of a combo, kind of not. So this was the brainchild of Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl here on YouTube. And the idea behind it is you take a 12 by 12 sketch and you make it into any size layout that you want, except for 12 by 12. So I have been doing my traveler's notebook, but I don't have any current pictures printed for that notebook that I am working on. And when I saw this sketch, I was like, you know what? This would be a great double page spread. So that is what I am going to do. So I am starting with my How to Kill a Kit with Style, which is mainly some fall items. Both of the papers are from Pink Fresh Studio Best Day. And I have 3 photos. They're the 3 photos that I have left from when we went to the Tree of Mysteries. So at first I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do like some wreaths with all of these florals, and then I will sew them down. And so you kind of see me playing with a couple of those. And then I was like, well, I need to take all of these off because there is tons of mixed media in this sketch. And I definitely want to play with that. So I am going to grab 2 Distress Oxides, and they are Seedless Preserves and Milled Lavender. So I am just going to do the packaging technique and kind of do it in that like half circle area. And at this point, I don't really have much of a plan. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play. I feel like sometimes you just need to play, especially when you're not really a mixed media, maybe per se kind of person. I do a little bit, but I do struggle with it. It is definitely not my go-to. I do love me some packaging technique though. And so I'm really going to try and embrace the mixed media that this sketch has. So I start with the darker color, and then I'm going to add the lighter color, and you see it a little bit. It's not like bam in your face, which is what I like. And I'm going to do that on both sides, still in that same kind of half wreath pattern. And I am going to try to do some splatters as well. And with whatever I have left, I'm just going to try and use that up. So there is that part. And then I was like, you know what? I am going to bust out some, some stenciling, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some texture paste. Well, I grabbed this Vicky Bouton stencil from Kaleidoscope, and then I grabbed this Close to My Heart. It's like an iridescent paste. What is it called? It's right here. It is called Create a Shade Paint in Pearl. Okay, this is super old. Anyway, when I squirted it out, it kind of came out like glue, and I was like, let's put it on there and see what happens. Well, it just made a mess. So it didn't work so well. So I decided to shake it up and see if I could get it to be more paint-like, which amazingly I could. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just kind of put that around in different spots on this layout, and it's gorgeous. It is so pretty. I'm so glad that it worked. I do have some like plain white texture paste from like Walmart, but it's not my favorite. But this stuff is pretty. I need to like maybe add some glitter or something to that texture paste. Something. It's just kind of boring. So then I was like, okay, there's totally like stamping on this sketch. And I am a terrible stamper. But I was like, you know what would work would be kind of just some like those background stamps. Well, I have this stamp set from Heidi Swap. I think it was from Art Walk. And it's just little 2x2 squares. And so this one has some text on it. So I just used my hand. I just put the stamp part in the hand. I didn't put it on a block or anything. And I used the seedless preserve and just stamped it randomly. I'm looking at the layout. I probably stamped it, I don't know, 12 or so times. I think maybe you can see 3 of my stamped images, but you know, that's okay. I have learned from some of the best mixed media people that you make this thing and you cover most of it up, and that's okay. So I really did like how this looked, and I kind of wished that I had some tiny pictures so that I wasn't covering up as much of it, but that's okay. This was my plan for the sketch, and that is what I'm going to go with. So now I'm going to take some time and I'm going to try to reapply those florals, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to try to sew through all of that and sew through the circles. Well, that didn't work very well. When I got to the paint, my sewing machine would not sew through it. It made it stuck and it would break the thread. So yeah, the sewing's not great, but there is some sewing on there. You can see it. Some of it is just some poked holes because I didn't realize it wasn't sewing, so it just poked holes. And that's okay too. So now I'm going to work on my photos. I am just going to back them in some white tissue paper. And like I said, I kind of wish that they were a little bit smaller, but that's okay. They're not. And I do really like how this turned out. So we are totally gonna go with it. The one with the kids in the sky trail, that one I could cut down, and I probably could have cut the trees down too, but I like how you really get a good idea of how tall and how big these trees are by leaving it just as the full photo. So of course I am losing my adhesive. I'm kind of terrible. I use these little runners from Walmart, and I have said this before, it's probably not the best glue, but when I run out of glue and I am scrapbooking at 2 in the morning, I can run to Walmart and get it, and that is what makes me happy. So that is why. That is why I use that one. But I have so many of them. I usually have 4 of them, and basically once I finish 2 of them, then I will refill those 2 because the refills come in packs of 2. So I usually have 4 going at once. So I lose them a lot, but I tend to have lots of them floating around, so I can usually find them. So I am going to adhere those down. I did not know where my tear tape was, so I was very careful when I put my adhesive on the back of that tissue paper so I didn't tear it. So I get my photos down. I am going to use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive because there is some mixed media on the background and I want it to stick. And then I find that there is just a few gaps. Because I didn't know where I was going to put my photos, I didn't know where I needed to have all of the florals. For some reason, I thought the picture was gonna be more on the outside of the right-hand side versus the inside. But I end up putting both of them kind of inside the photos, which you can see in the sketches, kind of the same thing. So I want it to look like there is, some fullness to the floral wreaths. And so I make sure there's florals that go everywhere. And then I went to find a title and I came across this pack of chipboard, and I think it is from Paige Evans, and I'm not sure which line. But I think I picked it up on the give and take table at the Scrapping Reflections retreat. And I am super excited because I am going to kill this pack of thickers. So I am going to use the title that says Love Your Laugh, and I'm going to extend that all the way across. There's like a heart and a watch, a couple of stacked bowls. There's a tab that says all you need is a, and then it says good book on the underneath, but all I said was all you need is a, and tucked it under, and that was good. This one says jeans, t-shirts, and a top knot, which, nobody's got a top knot in, but, it's okay. And then I am going to finish it off with some sequins. These sequins are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and they are called Tranquil Garden. And I am going to pull all of the colors except for the navy blue. Not that I have anything against it. There is some navy blue in some of the leaves on both sides, but I decided to save those. I'm a little bit of a hoarder of navy anything, which is interesting because I don't feel like maybe I feel like there's not enough navy in collections or something. But every time I get something navy, I'm like, ooh, like I got these thickers from Paper Issues, and they're navy, and I am completely in love with them. So how I put my sequins down is I use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. I just do a couple of drops of glue where I think that I want the sequins to be. I grab my crystal katana, and it has one wax tip end and one metal tip end. So the wax tip will pick up the sequins, and then you push it down with the metal tip so you don't get glue everywhere. And if you do get a little glue, that's okay. It comes right off the wax tip. So that is my layout. I know it's a little longer because it's a double page spread, but oh, I really love it. So down in the description box, there will be links to everyone who is playing along today. So make sure you head over and you give them some love. I do have a couple of close-ups. You can see, look, I stamped there and my stenciling, and then I did each page separate so you can kind of see how they look, which they could do good just on their own. So that's going to do it. Remember to wear your crown, and we'll see you next month. Bye.